welcome to Promise. My name's Hallie.
I'm Christine.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Were you able to get here okay?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Okay, good to hear. And then how did you end up finding out about our services?
My friend, she suggested it after she went through your agency before, and she liked it, so.
Okay, that's great to hear. I hope that you have a similar experience
Yeah,
with
me
us.
too.
So, like I said, my name's Hallie. I'm a case manager here at Promise, which is a community action agency. And for today, for our first meeting, we're mostly going to go over a lot of logistical information about our policies, about informed consent and stuff like that, and then dive into a little bit of an assessment talking about your presenting problems. But for the most part, that will be following meetings, is we'll talk more in detail about any of your presenting problems, anything you want to work on, and then set goals and work to achieve them. So it can get a little boring this first meeting, having to go through all the policy, but it's really important that we understand it, so feel free to ask me questions at any time. So like I said, I'm the case manager, but this helping relationship we have between case manager and client is a two-way street. So my job as the case manager is to link you to any resources in the community, and then also to help you set and prioritize your goals, develop skills to help you meet the goals and stuff like that. But one important distinction is that I'm not actually a therapist or a mental health professional, although if we do find that you may need to receive those services, I can refer you to one.
Okay.
And then since this is a partnership, my expectation of you is that hopefully you'll feel comfortable being open and participating actively in our meetings, and that you're also able to, show up to the meetings regularly on time, just so we can make sure that we can make the most of our time and that all of the services can be provided. Did you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. So then we can go into some of the policy stuff. So it's my role as a social worker to make sure you understand any of the, all of the services that our agency and that I provide, and make sure that there's no confusion there. So like I said, make sure to speak up if you have any questions. So you should have discussed the actual cost of our meetings out with Janet at the front desk.
Yeah.
Okay, we do operate on a sliding scale, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or Janet.
Okay.
But have you gotten that all mostly sorted out?
Yes.
Okay.
Still working on it.
Okay, good to hear. And like I said, please feel free to come to me or my supervisor or Janet. Really, anyone can help you work through that. And then our cancellation policy is that if possible, if you need to cancel a meeting, we ask that you tell us at least 24 hours in advance. And if you need to cancel even sooner, at least try to give us a call. That will still be helpful as far as scheduling goes. But if we do find that there's been a pattern of not showing up to meetings or canceling abruptly, we may have to, after a few of those occur, we may sit down with a meeting with me, you, and my supervisor, and just talk about what's been causing cancellations and what our further options are. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, the only issues I might have with cancellation is I don't always have someone to drive me here.
Oh, okay.
So.
And that's actually something that I and both Janet at the front desk can work with you with on transportation options. So we can look into even maybe getting you a city bus pass or trying to find other rides.
Okay.
And so if we're starting to have a problem with that, we can definitely look into that more. And then with grievances, if you ever feel that uncomfortable with me, or maybe just that we're not clicking, please feel free to walk down the hall. My supervisor, Bill, is right down the hall, and you can address any complaints with him if you don't feel comfortable talking to me directly, and then maybe if the relationship isn't working out, we can find a different match.
Okay.
And then lastly, with informed consent, it's important that we talk about confidentiality. So what's so great about our relationship is that everything you share with me remains confidential, so I won't be sharing it or with anyone else, telling it any of your personal information. There's only a few exceptions to that rule. One of them is that I am a mandated reporter, so if you share any information with me that makes me believe that child abuse or neglect or elder abuse and neglect is occurring, I'm mandated to report that to the appropriate child welfare services or whichever service applies. And then also if you express to me anything that gives me reason to believe that you have intention to harm yourself or others, I also do have a duty to warn in that case.
Okay.
Does to, hopefully this will never come to it, but if you ever do file a lawsuit against me, the limits of confidentiality, or the confidentiality agreement is able to be broken, and I may have to share information in that case if it's a lawsuit.
Okay.
So does all of the stuff we went over today make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I have it all written out on this
Okay.
release of information, if you could please
Yeah.
just sign. And I can also get you a copy.
Yeah,
If you'd like
I'd
to
like
keep
that.
one. Okay, great. So now that we've gone through all of that stuff, why don't we just start talking about your presenting problems? So just give me a general idea of what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
I just got a divorce from my husband, who we have a child with, and we are now, me and my 2 children are now living with a friend of mine. So I don't have a job, so that's something I need to start looking for, and or a car, so a way to get around. So that's kind of hard to
Mm-hmm. That
find a job.
definitely does sound difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, and it's also taking a toll on my kids too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How old are your kids?
I have one that's in elementary school, she's in 3rd grade, and I have a son that is in high school, he's a sophomore.
Wonderful.
So,
Could you maybe tell me a bit more about your living situation?
yeah, so it's the 3 of us, and then we are all living in my friend's house who is married. They don't have any kids, but we're living in a basement. At some point I would like to get out of there. I obviously don't want to live with my friend the rest of my life, but I don't have the funds or anything to take that step, especially with me not having a job.
Okay, so do you have any ideas of what kind of jobs you're looking for, or any past work experience?
I've worked at a couple of places before, but I've worked at Walmart at one point. I worked at a bank for a little bit when I was younger, but otherwise I haven't worked in a long time since I just got out of my relationship.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to share with me about that relationship?
He did physically abuse me, and eventually that's why I got out of it. And also I am an alcoholic, so I have been sober for a year now, but still obviously struggle every day.
I'm extremely sorry to hear that about your husband. I'm sure that must have been really difficult to go through. And it's also wonderful to hear that you maintain that you're sober now.
Yeah, so I'm really trying to get my life back on track, trying to get a job.
That's great. The first step to getting help is coming in and seeking out help from others.
Yeah.
So it's great that you're making such a great effort to take care of yourself and your kids.
Thank you.
Is there any other issues that you'd like to maybe address at this time? It sounds like there's a lot. So.
Yeah, I know it's hard, but